Welcome to Wings Weekly, and the first one of this season. Of course, Coach, last time we did a Wings Weekly, it was at the Shriners Temple with these two marvelous cups and a welcome home ceremony with the many fans and, of course, the team there as well. But since then, a lot has changed, a lot has happened. Let's start with Russia. I mean, obviously, that was a really cool event for the league as a whole, but you getting to be the head coach and with the players getting to see a lot of sights and stuff too. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it's tough to explain. They did just a phenomenal job. That whole committee of people who put that tournament on. It's from the day you land, it's first class, and for them to put the excursions in and allow the players to actually take in a different culture at the same time, competing against some of the best players in the world. It's a great opportunity. It's especially for our league to be involved in it. You see all the teams that are in there. They're all teams that train pretty much year round. They take a short break and they're back at it in July, and they're training with as a club. And for us, it was interesting because we had very minimal time to prepare and become a team, and we did the best we can to get to as quick as we can to get to that point. And I thought that our guys competed hard, and we left Russia 3-2, 1 point from making the semis and crossing over in the middle round. So I think for our first year going into something we knew nothing about, I think we set the table for a lot to come in the future. So. But it's kind of fun when you put your players against teams that have 8 NHL draft picks and they're all on the ice and especially coaching against them. I mean, the hockey was first class, and I certainly took a lot out of it.
Well, excellent. You mentioned the excursions and stuff. What were the people like? Did they seem to accept you guys well or welcome you?
Well, they know that you're not from there.
Yeah.
You could tell that. But as far as the excursions go, they were very happy to have us a part of them and to show off their culture. And they're really proud of what they have over there in Russia. And it's a unique country. People don't, it's not like the U.S. where everybody likes to talk. There it's a more quiet culture where they don't do a lot of smiling. But
so you fit right in.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't have to talk, I mean, that's perfect for me. But it was great, learning to adapt and to eat 16 days in a row, eat a different food than you're used to. And it's way different than the food in the U.S. So like I said, I can't say a bad thing about it. I'd love to go back and be part of the North American Hockey League representing in Sochi.
Well, that sounds like an amazing experience. And, you touched on it. That was going to be my next question, in fact, was the level of hockey and the fact that, you throw guys together that have never played together, where you're playing teams that have, been practicing and have a lot more chemistry and flow and stuff. So that became a challenge of its own, a little bit like top prospects. And, you take guys from all over and put them together. So I was able to watch some of the games and follow along. And I thought it was, honestly, it exceeded my expectations, because I kind of thought the talent is there, but the teams would have an advantage because of the chemistry and stuff. But you guys definitely, like you said, come out of there 3-2 and we're competitive and represented the league well. I got a lot to be proud of, for sure.
We spent a lot of time together, and I think that's the big thing. As soon as we arrived in Chicago, we were together the entire 16 days. We were, with the excursions and the practices and all that stuff. So, we ate every meal together as a team, and I think that was really good. And, I'm sure it's we were also kind of a test dummy a little bit for the future and how they're going to put that team together, knowing that the hockey is not average at all. You're going to see quite a few players that were on those rosters playing the NHL, and hopefully we go back there and we compete.
Excellent. Well, moving on, there's a few returning players and a few that were around last year, like Nico DeVita and Henry Welsh and so on. But overall, there's a lot of new faces in this locker room. And exhibition games with Austin and Fargo, those games really are about evaluating talent and letting you and Coach Hill get a chance to look at these players on the ice in game situations. Isn't that basically the point of an exhibition?
Yeah, at the same time, we're looking for guys to execute the principles that we're putting in place, and to make mistakes during exhibition doesn't cost you in the regular season. So
Yeah.
it's an opportunity for us to do a lot of coaching and a lot of learning and feeling out each other and kind of seeing where players fall into their roles.
Okay. Well, at this point, what have you guys kind of seen from these players? And again, a lot of new guys, and of course, the scouting staff. You've talked about what a great job they've done in the past. They bring these guys in, and how do you feel so far after 4 exhibition games and of course a bunch of practices and camp here? What are you seeing from them?
I mean, it's a hardworking group, as expected, I think it's a team still trying to find its identity, which it takes time. You don't really have that before the showcase at all, but it's a team that works really hard, and I think it's a team that's going to have some high expectations on it sooner than later, and we're going to go as far as our leadership takes us. So we're hoping that the leadership core from last year rubbed off a little bit on these guys, and we show them the right way to play.
Well, you touched on a point that I'm going to get to here in just a moment, and of course that is leadership and the void that is left with that core group of guys. But let's take a quick break here. We'll get to that in just a moment, and we'll be back with Wings Weekly following these words from our sponsor.
Let's make a taco. No, seriously. Start with a tortilla, soft tortilla. Warm it, kiss it. Don't kiss it. Chicken? How about tequila lime chicken? Now we're cooking. Slice this, peel that, snip those. Salsa? Verde. Cheese? Cotija. Oh, forgot to mention. Guac. That's better. See, anyone can make a taco, but we're not anyone. We're Qdoba, and these are knockout tacos. Qdoba Mexican Eats. Choose flavor.
All right, back to Wings Weekly here. Coach, you talked about it, the leadership, and that was one of my questions because obviously, you do lose, your captain and your alternates and the guys that, had a big role, even if they didn't have a letter on their sweater from last year. And that, you mentioned it too, identity. It's something early on last year we talked about, but it didn't take nearly as long because you had so many more guys returning. Not the case this year. So how do you not only the work ethic and so on, but also the Wings way, the family and all of that, with fewer guys to teach it, it becomes even more of a obstacle, I would imagine.
I don't know if you need a large amount of guys right away.
Mm-hmm.
You need some guys that understand the culture, and it's always about how the torch is passed.
Yep.
And those guys set up the future, and last year they set us up really well as far as the way that they ran their crew, and obviously the result was a Robertson Cup. So the guys taking their leadership this year certainly know the standards that have to be met every single day, and coaching staff will work right with them as far as their leadership goes to make sure we get things right. But it's never easy. You just hope that it rubs off, the right things rub off on your group, and they continue the same culture that we've been forming and building since day one here. And I think if they do that, we'll have some success.
Excellent. Well, coming up next, of course, the showcase at the Schwann Super Rink in Blaine, Minnesota. Game times of 5:11, 2, and 9:45 as the regular season gets underway. A challenging schedule. What are going to be some keys off ice to success at the showcase this year?
Well, off ice, it's about taking care of your body. I mean, it's junior hockey. You never really play 4 in 4 days. So it's a new beast for even players that are coming from the midget level, the high school level. It's you don't really see 4 in 4 days, especially at this type of level. So it's demanding. I think taking care of yourself and being ready. I mean, we have some early games and some weird times. So it's mentally being prepared for those times. And, doing things the right way on the ice also going to help.
Oh, yeah.
And not digging yourself a hole by making mistakes. And, the teams we play, they're good hockey teams and they're well coached. So we're going to have our work cut out for us.
Well, and the showcase, again, it's not new. It's a challenge for every year. But it always kind of intrigues me that when new players that have never been, it's a pretty big event. And again, the timing of everything and so on, it can be difficult because you're not into that routine too. Is there something that you guys as the coaching staff can kind of do to prepare them? Or is it like, let's jump right into this?
Well, I think creating structure throughout the tournament is our job, and making sure the guys understand the itinerary and, when we're going to sleep, when we're getting up, when we're breakfast, and trying to keep the same routine, just modifying the times that we do that.
Sure.
Where players get themselves into trouble is when they go out there and they look at it as, I'm getting showcased. I'm getting the exposure. That never works. I've been doing this a long time and been at this showcase many, many years. So it's the teams that play well and do well get the maximum exposure. That is, every year that we've done well, we've had the most interest in our players. And that's one thing we have to certainly discuss, is to make sure we're playing as a team and we're good as a team.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we talked about it already a little bit, the showcase coming up. First game is against the Lone Star Brahmas. That again on September 18th, Wednesday at 5 p.m. Then the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights, Thursday, September 19th at 11 a.m. Wings take on Fairbanks Ice Dogs, Friday, September 20th at 2 p.m. And the Wings versus the Northeast Generals, September 21st, 9:30 a.m. All times, of course, are Central. As always, you can watch every Wings away game at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Aberdeen, or by logging on to hockeytv.com, or tune into 94.1 The Rock, hubcityradio.com, or the Rock app on your cellular device. Aberdeen Wings home opening weekend coming up September 27th and 28th versus Austin. A Central Division regular season playoff and Robertson Cup National Championship banner unveiling on that Friday night, and a ring ceremony on Saturday night. For all the latest news and information on Wings, visit aberdeenwings.com or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Coach, I know you got a lot going on, a lot to prepare for. I won't keep you any longer, but thank you for your time here today, and best of luck coming up in the showcase.
Thanks, Jay.
All right, that'll wrap up this week's Wings Weekly.